Hi folks, it's Elaine from Papercraft Button coming to you on American Independence Weekend. So I hope you're all, it's Saturday night here now because it's been too flipping hot all day for me to even venture out in the conservatory. In fact, I burnt my feet earlier on the floor, but never mind, we won't dwell on that. So I've left it to the evening, although you won't get this until Sunday morning because I have to wait for my son to go out so I can have a little window of internet. Anyway, the box we're going to make today, I've made it in a few sizes, but I've been sitting on this box since last year. About November time I made this one. Look at that lovely bow, I couldn't do that again if I tried. In fact, that ribbon, every time the bow seemed to come out quite nice, but anyway. So I'm calling this my cross close box. This was that thick, really thick card, the 12 by 12. But anyway, that's how long I've been sitting on that box, and the reason I haven't shown it to you up till now is because each time I think, oh, I'll do that, and then something else comes along and I think, oh no, I'll do that instead. So I've done it in various sizes. Now there's a building not far from me over on the Docklands, which is like the financial district and all the posh offices and stuff. It's actually called 1 Canada Square. If you pop onto my blog, I've put a photo of it, and this reminded me of that building. Well, it actually made it so the box popped in at the top, but where I was fiddling on my shelf, I popped them all out. So that's the 12 by 12 size, and I've got various sizes. So we've got a really thin one here. Again, the box is supposed to be in like that, but I popped it out, so it's up to you which way you do it. So that's a nice long thin one. All the sizes are on my blog. This is similar to the one we're going to do today. Obviously this is all retired because I have so much retired stuff. There's a short squat one there, and there's a small one which is, that's 2 by 2 by 2 7/8, this one. So you can either pop that in like that, or you can have it as mine all are now, like that. But in order for that to stay like that, you need to store it like that for a couple of days, okay? Otherwise it won't stay nicely put. But the other thing you could do is you could pop out the reverse, and you could even do it like that, which is a bit like our owls, hark at me, owls. The hexagon box that I done, oh god, a long time ago. Anyway, so this card measures 11. I was going to cut that off actually, so let's do that. It's supposed to measure 10 and a half. So let me quickly just trim that. That was me rushing. If you at 11, it's just going to make it too bulky on the top. Oh dear, look, that's slow motion cutting. Right, okay, let's start that again. Your card measures 10 and a half by 8 and a half, so that will fit your letter size, okay? And the box we're going to do is going to be not dissimilar to that one, but it's slightly different because obviously this was made with our A4, which is a bit longer than your card anyway. So we're going to score on the long side at 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, and 10. We're going to flip that round and we're going to go to 2 and a half, and then I'm going to flip it round and go to 1 and 3, and I won't flip it round to confuse you. Right, so we've done 2 and a half, and then I'm going to go to 7 and 1, which should be, yeah, 1 and 3. Now what we need to do is we've done loads of boxes with the scoring with the ruler, haven't we? We're going to do the same with this one. So we need to mark in the middle of each of these sections. Just a little mark at the top, which I know is going to be 1 1/4. So I'm just going to score in the centre of each of those. And then we're going to do our diagonal from there. Okay. So I like to use this clear ruler for this, and then I'm going to turn it up the other way. So we're just going to score from that mark we made down to that first horizontal score line. I'm going to do all of those first, I think. It suits my brain to do them like that, I'm afraid, rather than do each one individually. So we've had it, oh God, unseasonably hot here. It was the other day at 10:15 in the morning. My son was over in Hackney, which is East London. At 10:15 in the morning, it was 40 degrees Celsius on his dashboard thermometer. Okay, so let's just do some burnishing. You know what I forgot to bring out? My glue for my DSP. I'll just put a little bit of sticky strip on. As you're probably all too tired to be watching after all the celebrations today, you won't care how long I take, will you? So this is Blackberry Bliss, if I didn't tell you that already. I think I did. Okay, so we're just going to bend these rounds, these diagonal ones that we've made. And the last one. Okay, so there's only actually one bit that we need to remove, which is this little one. In this corner. Right, that's the only one that needs to be removed. Now we need to cut up all of these. So let me work out where's the back and where's the front. Right, okay, so these ones. So two of them I'm going to take a little noggin out. I haven't used that word for a long time, have I? So it'll be every other one needs to stay in its entirety. That's my new word of the summer, I've decided. So my youngest has gone to Malta today, so I'm looking forward to a nice, tidy, clean house for a week. Yeah, I shall miss him like a hole in the head. He'll come back and make a mess the minute he gets in the door. Although he's a strange kid, bless him. He just has to be in the room and it's a messy. Okay, so let's put on our DSP. We've got 4 pieces and they measure 4 3/8 by 1 1/4. Now I've tried to keep them in their order so the writing follows on. I'll tell you what, bear with me, I'm just going to get my glue. Oh dear, I'm back. Okay, so I've just run across the front room floor so the dog thought there was something exciting happening outside. Oh. I can't faff with a sticky strip to stick DSP on, honestly. Life's just too short, isn't it? It's certainly too short for you to watch me anyway, that's for sure. That's a new Tombow, so it's coming out. Enough to wallpaper a room with, I think. So I have to say, everything barring one pack of DSP, which I would deem questionable, I'm really pleased with all of my new purchases from the annual catalogue so far. I haven't ordered many DSPs actually because I just don't know, I just end up with so much left over. Well, I did last year and the year before, so I thought I'd more or less stick with the stacks. I got a couple of the little 6x6. Right, let's just take this off. A couple of the 6x6 pads. One of them is questionable, which I just don't know what possessed me the day I ordered that. But never mind. Each to their own. But yeah, I've ordered. I've got coming this week. I think it's called Sweet Little Things or something. which looks quite nice. And the other one I've got coming is Scor-pal. So that looks quite nice as well. Don't know quite know why I cut that like that, but never mind. So Lucy's disgraced herself this week, folks. We've managed 4 weeks of R&R, and then she undone all of her hard work of resting her leg, chasing the blooming cat again. So it's 2 cat incidents we've had. Okay, so the corners go inwards, okay, which is obviously opposite to what you would automatically want to do. Anyway, yes, so we're back to square one. Vet says that she's got to rest again, so she's not allowed to move. I've had to put a rug on the whole floor, which is a nightmare. Okay, so once you've left that, if you want yours domed like that, do you call that a dome? Or a pointy top? Then just store it. Once you make it, just store it pushed in. It's too hot out here for that. For a couple of days, and then it will stay. Although actually, this is making me out a complete liar, and that's staying. Anyway, blah 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 blah. I hope you like this little box, and I will put the measurements. There, look at that. It's like a jumbled self of boxes. I'll put the measurements on the blog. Okay, lots of love. Bye for now.